Well, hello everybody. It's so good to have you here. First of all, I wish you um, a very happy holiday. Okay, let me just see somebody raise the hand. Well, I actually cannot see who did that. Okay, probably. Well, I can't see who was that. Um, well, first question is, can you hear me? Just give me some sign that you can hear me. Yeah, but alright. I will try to give you the chance, because as I said, I asked you, please, yeah, try and raise your hand, but it's hard for me. Yeah, now I see somebody is raising hands. Okay, please do, and you can start typing, writing something in the chat. It's down there in the window. Okay, I almost finished. Yeah, so it's possible for you to join us. Please do. All right. So if you want to connect your microphones, then I will be very happy to hear something from you. So please try and connect and turn on your microphones. Okay, hello to you. It's microphones for talking. You know, it's better when you speak. Okay, yeah, please try. All right. So again, my best wishes to you on this Victory Day. So do not forget about that. That's for everybody. All right. So if you just want to say something about yourself, just to introduce yourself a little bit, or you have questions, or you have any kind of requests, please, I'm very open to that. Before we started, that's possible for you to give me an idea, and I will immediately try and complete what you want. Okay, please. So if you have any ideas, I will be more than happy to help you here. Okay, if no, then let's remember what let's remember what we did the previous class, and just to remind you, it was let's say the last sentence, phrasal verbs. Okay, we'll talk about that. So the last sentence was that, if you remember. I remember that you did it correctly. So now, first of all, if if it starts, and then you know that it's possible to use to rain, or some of you can say raining. If it starts to rain, or if it starts raining, then we'll play inside. So, you correctly told that this is conditional and conditional one. But the question here is also what is more correct, if it starts to rain or if it starts raining. Gerund. Alright. Well, you know that, for example, for second, okay, for American English, what you're saying is correct. Gerund is correct, and even I would say that it's almost no difference for American English. But you know that you are supposed to study the British version of the English language, and so in the English language we have a slight difference between the infinitive and the gerund. So the difference is that usually the infinitive shows us something which is going to happen after the verb. Like, for example, if you use the verb start here, then if you want to say that something will go after the verb start, then you should use the infinitive. If you want to talk about something which happened before this verb, then according to the British rules you have to use gerund. Like, for example, I can give you a more example which will be more obvious. Like, the teacher told to open the window. So here you see that the window is not opened. It will be opened, or it would be opened after the teacher told about that. So first you see the teacher told, and then the window will be opened. Okay, somebody is raising the hand. Okay, I see. I will try to connect them. Just wait a second. Yeah, please. So I think that I connected everybody. So the teacher told to open the window, and when another example will be the teacher told about opening the window. Here you see that gerund is used to show the action which happened before told. So now you can understand that first of all the window was opened, and then the teacher told about that. So that's the difference, general, let's say, very general difference between gerund and the infinitive. So here it's better to say if it starts to rain, we'll play inside. Okay, now we can go on, and the next sentence will be number 19. Let me just copy and paste it for you. Okay, so please give your gerund used after, about, or for. You know, mostly we'll talk about that later. Gerunds are mostly used after prepositions, and I will show you some very good examples for that usage You will remember that. Okay. Now please type into the chat window. Type in the translation of this example, number 19. What do you think about that, please? Number 19, please. I think that you can see that. Okay, she well, only, you know, this is the second level grammar, and when you the things like she only has, yeah, you see, she has, this is she has, this is first level grammar. We are talking about the second level of grammar. Yeah, that's all right. It's just I want to remind you. So she has. Yeah, and you see, you have so many versions. She has lived here for 3 years. She had been living here. Here is better. She had been living. She had lived. She has been living. Yeah, and as you can understand, all of these versions are correct. So how can you say which will be better? Now let's first of all give me the name of the grammar rule. Which grammar rule are we talking about? Okay, please. I think not had the action. No, I'm just asking. Give me yeah, the name of the tense. We are talking about tenses, but specifically, yeah, you can say past perfect. What else? Present perfect. Very good. Present perfect. Then also present perfect continuous. Somebody mentioned that, and also past perfect continuous. Very good. So yeah, now if we have a look at these sentences, like for example, she has lived here. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. She has lived here for 3 years, and another sentence will be she has been living for she has been again, why is that? Living here for 3 years. Okay, so can you think of the difference between these two sentences? What's the difference? And again, I want you to pay attention very specifically, because you know that you will have these sentences in the tests, and that is why I want you to pay a lot of attention to that, because you know, this is mostly British grammar. Because for example, if you think about the American grammar, mostly almost no difference, but for the British grammar, and you will have tests with the British, they have the difference. So can you notice this difference? What is the difference here? Okay, if you want to be very exact, first sentence, she doesn't live here any more or any longer. And the second sentence, she is still living here. So that's the difference. And again, this is the difference for the British. And then you said she had lived she had lived here for 3 years, or she had been living here for 3 years. Okay, this is, as you remember, this is called past perfect and past perfect continuous. So when we need to use past perfect and past perfect continuous, usually there should be specific conditions or specific circumstances. For example, she had lived here for 3 years before she moved to London. For example, when you have most of the time when you have two actions in the past, when one action is definitely prior or before another action, and there is the, excuse me, I see that somebody is asking. Well, I don't know who. I'm trying to find. Yeah, I think that I connected the person who wanted to be connected. So, two actions in the past. When one action is definitely prior or before another action, and there is the gap between these two actions, then we can speak about past perfect. Like, for example, and of course everything should happen in the past, like I said. Like, for example, first of all, you start the sentence like that: yesterday, and that means past. You said about past. Okay? Yeah, hello everybody. Yeah, hello to you. Yesterday. First of all, you start with the when you show everybody that you are talking about the past, you say yesterday or last year or whatever. Yesterday. When I came home at 5. So you see, this is one action. And then the second action, the door lock had been broken. So you see that these two actions are not connected at all. That means that it couldn't happen that the door lock was broken and immediately after that the person came home. So the problem here is that you see there is the gap, the time gap between the moment when you came home and before that the lock had been broken. When we have again two actions in the past, when one action is definitely prior or before another action, there is the gap between these two actions, then we talk about past perfect. Okay? Now you see that sentence number 19, it's the best way to translate will be: she has lived here for 3 years. But again, you know that if I want to be absolutely exact, absolutely precise about that, then I should have given you the circumstances. Alright, yeah, Sorry, but I have to stop some, you know, some activities here. What was that? Well, again, if you think about past perfect continuous, that doesn't matter, past perfect or past perfect continuous. The main idea is that always when you think about any past perfect, then you should have in mind that there should be always two actions in the past, when one action is definitely before another action. Okay? Alright, if it's kind of clear, let's move on to the next idea. If you have questions, please type your questions. Okay? So number 20. I'm waiting for your versions, for your translations. Please do. Please. Your versions. Yeah, somebody turned on the microphone. You can talk. Please, it will be better and faster. If you speak with me, then it will be better. Please. Okay, any other versions? So, usually, again, how we... Yeah, somebody wants to... Yeah, alright, very good. Again, how I want you to see the main idea. We start... Yeah, we start usually talking about any sentence. Yeah, just wait a second, somebody is asking to be connected, yeah. We start talking about any sentence. Before talking about that, please, give me the name of the grammar rule. Give me the name of the grammar rule. What is the name of the grammar rule here?
Complex object.
Complex objects. Why do you think so? Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah, some other people are joining us. Okay, why do you think so? Complex object. That's, you know, it's a little bit unusual to hear the voice. Not many people are, you know, gerund using all. What is that? Okay. So the grammar rule here is, first of all, this is reporting. Do you remember that? Reporting. Or sometimes, you know, in the Russian textbooks it is called direct speech or reported speech, or reporting, and then reporting suggestions. Reporting suggestions. So first of all, why not offers? Why suggestions and not offers? What's the difference between to suggest and to offer? Can you think of this difference? Suggestion and offer. What's the difference? Okay, let me help you. So suggestion is usually, and also ladies, for you, another word is proposal, which is also very offer is more offer or formal, yeah. So suggestion is usually about some idea. Offer, usually, if you remember, it's kind of a job offer, right? So that's mostly, like you say, formal, or this is business offer. And proposal might be both, but you know that when the guy makes a proposal to a young lady, probably you understand what he's talking about, right? That's proposal. It will be kind of a proposal to marry. Absolutely. So very good. Now today, or now here here we talk about the reporting suggestions. Well, the verb to suggest is a little bit unusual verb, because it requires very specific grammar. What kind of grammar? Now, somebody said he suggested to meet. Is it possible to use infinitive after to suggest? Is it possible? Now please tell me something, or type, or whatever you want to. So he suggested to meet. Is it possible? No. Please remember that no infinitive after suggest. No infinitive. So then, what are the ways? Like somebody said about gerund. Very good. So that's the first way. The first way to say he suggested, and then meeting, and then at the ring. He suggested meeting at the ring. Very good. But this is not all. You will. Yeah, he suggested meeting at the ring. Very good. But this is not all. Now I want you to remember other ways of rendering these problematic things in the second level. So second level, I just want to remind you about like you say, conditional. What is conditional? Conditional, usually it is called conditional mood. What is mood? Second level, sorry. What is a mood? Or another thing, you can think about modal verbs. That's the same root. Same root of the word. So what is mood or modal? What is that? Mood or modal? Can you think of what it might be? Yeah, if you want to turn on your microphones, please do, and it will be fun, and it will be much easier to talk, and it will be faster if we talk. So you cannot explain. Okay, I know. Alright, then please, in order to understand that, we'll need. Okay, sorry, I need to turn off somebody. Okay. Well, you know that we need to remember, and maybe we'll need some Russian words. Okay. Do you know the translation of the word mood? What is the translation of this word? Yes, you can say so. Very good. But This is grammatical meaning.
Настроение.
Yes, but this is absolutely correct. But this is grammatical meaning. That's slightly
Или
deep. Yes, please. All right.
Или это, как говорится, такая форма, грамматическая форма глагола, при которая выражает обязанность ты делать что-то.
Okay, I see your point. I understand.
Или нет.
Now, just wait a second. Please wait a second. So, I just want you to translate this conditional mood. What does that mean? Conditional mood. What other moods do you know? What is that conditional mood? Well, it's not a sentence. It's not a clause. It's a conditional mood. How do we call that in Russian grammar? And what other moods do you know? Yes, but you see, you're almost right. So now you know that mood is, the translation into Russian will be very good. So what other moods do you know? What other moods do you know? Please? I think that everybody knows. Okay? Very good. So in English it will be like you saying, in English it will be indicative mood. Indicative mood. Okay? Yes, absolutely. Then the next is imperative. Imperative mood. Alright. Now, if I ask you, what is a mood? What is наклонение? What is that? And then you will understand what is a modal verb. So, mood is your attitude to reality. That means that something which is not real. If you think of that conditional mood, for example, I will go if you give me money. If you give me money, I will go. That means that I will go only under some conditions. That means that probably this is not very real. Then when you think of imperative mood, he told me to sit down. That means that he ordered me. Then sometimes you want to say your doubts, you're not understanding something, and then you use mood. And in order to help you, you have these modal verbs. Okay, very good. So now you mentioned here сослагательное наклонение. Сослагательное in English it will be subjunctive mood. So what's the difference between conditional mood and subjunctive mood? If you know that in Russian language you have very many types of clauses. Yeah, I wish you were here. Yeah. Many types of clauses. What did I write? Can you say it in Russian? Many types of clauses. What does that mean? Many types of clauses. That means...
Много видов придаточных.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And what you say, this is the word which I needed. In English we say clause. If clause when it is about conditionals, and or when clause or other introductory words. But you also have some other clauses which are not conditionals, but they are still in the same mood, which are not real. These conditionals, and you put it here, I wish you were here. I usually say it in Russian when you want to say something like that. You know, in Russian there is the saying «Если б до кобы доросли во рту грибы». In English we say, maybe you heard, «Shoulda, shoulda, or woulda, coulda». Have you heard this? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's the same like the Russian saying «Если б до кобы доросли во рту грибы». Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Of course, this is wrong grammar, because it should be should have, would have, could have, and we learned already that material, but still now you have this general idea about that. So now we talked about the moods, about the modal verbs, about the conditional and subjunctive mood. So how can we use here in the sentence number 20, how can we use the subjunctive mood? Okay? Well, probably we need to go to another page. Sorry, because we finished with the space. Alright, let's start it over. So, he suggested, and then how can we... No. It's now you will use here subjunctive mood. How can you use it here? Okay, I will help you. In order, you know that as we said that we have different types of clauses. So we talked about conditional, and it was if clause. Now I want you to talk about that clause. Okay? No, just do not be in a hurry. He wished to me, that's no way to say it like that. We are talking about that clause. We are talking not about conditional, we're talking about subjunctive, and we're talking about not if clause, we're talking about that clause. So, he suggested, and then you use that. He suggested that. After that, he suggested that we can meet. Yeah, but that's slightly different meaning, because you use the can. You use can in present. That means that it is possible, and when it is possible, that means it's real. And we talked that mood or modals, it is not real. Can you feel that? Okay, it's maybe you will see that this is maybe you haven't seen it before, but I think that you will remember it very easily. So he suggested that we, and then you can use meet, and do not think that this is a bare infinitive. This is This is a subjunctive, the form of the subjunctive mood. Another way is he suggested that we should meet, and the last is he suggested that we met, and that will be past, which is also subjunctive. So he suggested that we meet at the ring. He suggested that we should meet at the ring, and he suggested that we met at the ring. So you have to memorize that. He suggested meeting at the ring. Okay. So you see 4 ways to say this in English, as you can understand. I think that this will help you a lot. Maybe you will not feel the subjunctive in the sentence when you use the present subjunctive, like he suggested that we meet at the ring. So then do not use it. Probably you will feel it later. Okay, my idea is to expose you, to show it to you. So he suggested meeting is most of the time is the best way to say it in English. The most important, please remember that no infinitive. So that means that when you hear that somebody is using after suggest the infinitive, that means that this person does not know the second level of the English grammar. Okay? You will immediately... No, it's not the best. It's you cannot say because all of them are equal. That doesn't matter. The only thing is that it's easier to remember that you say he suggested meeting, and like for example, you think of any other examples, like he suggested going to the movies. The teacher suggested writing a test. He suggested drinking some tea, and so on. So the main idea is never to use the infinitive. Okay? If you can feel me here. All right. Very good. So let's move on. Do you have questions here? If you don't have questions, okay, no questions. All right, we can move on further on. Okay, so sentence 21. Sentence 21. Please, you have a question. Please ask a question. Yeah, please ask a question. All right. While she is thinking, yeah, okay. Well, the only thing again, first level grammar. Well, I do not teach. Usually, I do not teach the first level because you know you are supposed to. What's the difference between sentences? Okay, what's the difference? Yeah, just wait a second. Let me answer one question and then the other. So I don't think that we have that big difference between these sentences. because my point here is to show you the beauty of the English language when they want to give your some ideas, and that means that there is not only one way to relate you to render some idea, but there are always very many ways, and when you have many ways, then it's easier for you to say something in English. So just right now try, like if you remember how you learned your Russian, probably you didn't ask your mom what's the difference between these sentences. You simply remembered those sentences, and that was it. Alright, and then he apologized. Yeah, he apologized. Do not forget that that's first level. You can say he apologizes, okay, or he apologized. You know, it's not possible to say they haven't got differences. Well, they have, actually they have, but in order to feel these differences, you have to read yourself about subjunctive mood. That's a very long story. That's too much material, and this is not the material of my course. I want to introduce to you as many structures of the English as it is possible. Okay? So somebody wants to join us. Alright. I just gave, yeah. If you want to turn your microphone, please. So you see, first level is he apologizes or he apologized. And of course, if you want to go to level 2, it's not allowed to say he apologized. You know, it's no way, never. You cannot say hi. You cannot say he apologized. That's the first level. We are not talking about the first level here. We study the second level. Alright, so you said that he apologized, or he apologizes, or he has apologized, whatever you want to. That doesn't matter. Again, before you translate, I usually ask you, what is the name of the grammar rule? What is the name of the grammar rule? Please, here. Sentence 21. Tense. Well, as you can understand that it's not the big deal here. He apologized, or he has apologized, or he apologizes. That's not a big deal here. A big deal here is, like some of you wrote, he apologized for rudeness. Do you think this is correct? He apologized for rudeness. Do you think this is correct? Please. Rude, rough, nope. Well, and here I just want to remind you, if we have a preposition in the sentence, so what is the next part? Is the next part of speech? I mean after the preposition. Gerund. Very good. Gerund. That's what I was just looking for that. So that's the first idea. Then, for example, if the teacher tells you Like, for example, how can the teacher say that in English? What would the teacher tell you? Now? I think this is not that difficult. Please. I wrote on the board the Russian sentence. Just try and translate. Okay? Or yes, absolutely. Don't be and yeah, don't be rude. Don't be rude. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I didn't switch the keyboard. Okay, don't be rude. So that means that when we say in Russian, in English we say to be rude. Okay? Now it's very easy for you to say this, which is sentence 21. Now please. Yeah, don't be rude, don't say rude things, very good. So, how can you say that, number 21? What is that? That's something a little bit unusual. Some other versions, please. That's okay, that's not a problem. But you have forgotten the preposition. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's very good. He apologized. I was just looking at two ways he apologized for. And now you see this is gerund for being, and now you have the adjective. So it's actually rude is not a verb. Is not a verb. It is an adjective. Adjective. Okay? So he apologized for being rude. That is why you cannot do the gerund from rude. All right, very good. Questions here. He apologized for being rude. Do you have questions here? Okay. Somebody asks for no questions. All right, and somebody asks for, let me see. No, that's correct. Any alternative to what? Alternatives to what? To this sentence, to grammar. For me, I can talk about anything. Turn on your microphone. I can give you reading. I can give you, but you see, if I want you to read, then you need to turn on your microphones, and you don't want to. So you see that I was thinking a lot about how to find the way out working with you. For me, the best way is when you turn your microphones on. Then it's the best way. Okay. So, alternative to grammar. Okay. Now, please, sentence 22. What do you think? Yeah, but you see that this is a little bit long, and again, the best way for you, again, it's a little bit too long. So, what else? Yeah, that's very good. I'm getting tired. Yeah, that's probably the best way. Excuse me. I'm getting tired. All right. So again, what is the rule? What is the rule here? Phrasal verbs or gerunds? Well, okay. Let me remind you a little bit. Probably you heard that people can be married and people can get married. Okay? Have you heard about that? So what's the difference between be married and get married? Well, actually here you have some difference. Not a big deal, but still you have some. Okay? Well, I don't think that I see the difference with Kate, what you said in Russian. I don't think that I understand this difference a lot in Russian. What do you mean by that? All right, you know that probably it will be a good idea. It will be a good idea for you to have it for your... What is going on? No. To have it for your homework. Okay? So, preposition. No, I am not about preposition. It's just think about these two examples, be married and get married, and think that... for example, it's not the only one example. You have, I think that we talked with you about, if you remember, I'm having my car repaired on Friday. Do you remember that? I'm having my car repaired on Friday. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Yes, I see. Somebody is asking me to... Yeah, but I will not allow. Well, do you think that it's not the only way that you can also say I am getting my car repaired on Friday? So you see, be married, get married, have my car repaired, get my car repaired. So I think that a good idea for you to have it for your, get something done, but at the same time to have something done, which is causative. Very good. Still very good. So that will be your homework. Now do not forget that we will have a class tomorrow. if you remember, class tomorrow. Okay, just well, I will put on the news feed. Just check the news feed. You understand the news feed? You call it wall. In English, it is called news feed. I will put the time on the news feed. So please, what I want you to do is write comments about the class. Comments in the news feed. I mean, I will say in Russian. Please, okay? Because that's necessary. All right, and sentence 20. Yes, please ask. And again, if you want to have private classes, for private classes, you can send me an email. This is my email. You just as we say, shoot me an email, and we'll decide, we'll agree about the private classes. Okay. Any questions? I would like to ask you about sentence. Which difference between gerund and subjunctive mood? Please read it at home. Have a good grammar book and read about that at home, because the time is up. Okay, so it was such a pleasure to see you. Hope to see you tomorrow, and you know that we'll have the continuation of the translation. We have many sentences to translate. And again, very happy Victory Day, and goodbye. Okay? Well, my name is Vladimir.